On, everyone? So we got some wrestling news to talk about, and I usually do these type of videos every once in a while. I don't do them all the time because almost every wrestling content creator you see nowadays does these kind of videos where they take all the wrestling news and they post them, edit them, and talk about them. Plus, they like to put their own little spin on things, little clickbaity titles and clickbaity thumbnails and all that crazy stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I am not a wrestling journalist. I don't consider myself to be a wrestling journalist. I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos, who talks about wrestling, and talks about the crazy stuff that goes on in wrestling. So, with that being said, let's just go ahead and talk about some of this stuff that is going on in the wrestling world today. First things first, we saw it happen last night on Friday Night Smackdown. We knew this match was going to happen, but it's official at this point. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This match will not be your normal standard one-on-one match. This will be, in Jey Uso's words, a tribal combat match. So basically, it's a no holds barred match. Anything goes, no DQ, no countouts. You know, if Jey Uso wants to put Roman through a table, he can. If he wants to slap him, use a woman's guitar and slap him with it, that's what Jey Uso could do. That's basically what this match is. You know, God forbid, with the way Solo was acting, don't be surprised if Solo gets involved in this. But yeah, man, tribal combat, man. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. It is going to be special. So the next news I wanted to talk about here, apparently WWE and AEW are both interested in the top free agent. And apparently this free agent is Nick Aldis. Now we just talked about Nick Aldis a little while ago because he took on Alex Shelley at Slammiversary. And obviously his time with Impact Wrestling was only a short term because now Nick Aldis is no longer with Impact Wrestling. So it could go either way. Nick Aldis could either go to WWE, he could either go to AEW. It doesn't really matter. Me personally, where would I see him at? Maybe WWE. Maybe I feel like with his style of wrestling and how Nick Aldis, just his whole presentation, I feel like would kind of fit a little bit more into the WWE mold, more than AEW with their style of wrestling. Maybe you put Nick Aldis on Collision now would be interesting, but for the most part, I'd probably say, hey, put Nick Aldis in the WWE ring. Hell, you have him go to WWE, him and Cody could run it back. You know what I'm saying? I could see those guys feuding, and that would be pretty interesting. But speaking of AEW, MJF and Adam Cole, we've heard so much about this tag team. We've heard so much about these guys coming together, and this story has gone to the point where wrestling fans don't even want to see MJF and Adam Cole break up. Like, people are just loving MJF and Adam Cole. They're loving the tag matches. They're loving these segments. And the MJF and Adam Cole pairing is so crazy and so over with the fans to the point where the MJF and Adam Cole T-shirt "Better Than You, Baby" in the last few weeks since the release has sold more numbers of shirts than any AEW shirt has for all of 2023. So if that doesn't tell you how much these fans just love the devil and Bebe together, then honestly, I don't know what will. It's gotten to the point where people have even been saying, you know what, don't even break them up. I want to keep these guys together. People have been coming up with booking scenarios and how, AEW can keep them together as AEW prepares for the All In pay per view. And I'm sitting here just like, well, hey, let's see what happens. And hey, I like the pairing. They're pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty funny sometimes, at least for me. But yeah, man, this doesn't tell you, man, the fans are just over with these two guys together. Then I don't know what will. Unfortunately, here comes with the good. There is some bad. Liv Morgan apparently is injured. Her and freaking Rhea Ripley had a confrontation this past week on Monday Night Raw, and while they did the altercation, um, Liv basically, like, she went to Rhea and they went over the barricade. So apparently Liv just like injured her arm, as you can see in the picture here. She's in the sling. Um, I hope it's nothing crazy like Bailey, because I know Bailey was injured earlier this week, but obviously Bailey seems good. But yeah, man, honestly, me personally, I just hope that she's all good and it's just a little short little injury, and yeah, I just hope there's nothing more to it, because you never want to hear about another crazy injury happening. You know what I mean? I do want to talk about Jimmy Uso and the reason why Jimmy Uso's been out. Obviously, Jimmy Uso, they took Jimmy Uso off. They put him on the stretcher. They took him to a hospital, and they said Jimmy Uso is going to be out for the foreseeable future. And the reason why Jimmy Uso is out for the future is obviously because with this Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and I'll even throw in Solo too, with this storyline going on, it's gotta, no offense, Jimmy, but Jimmy's just got to stay out of this for a little while longer, especially to have Jay and Roman go at it one on one. It's just better for Jimmy to just stay home, with his wife and all that good stuff. So, yeah. The last thing that I do want to talk about here, man, is LA Knight. And the wrestling fans are not happy. They were not happy that LA Knight did not win on SmackDown. As you can see here, in these tweets here, wrestling fans have tweeted their displeasure with the officials, with Triple H. People are just pissed off. People are not happy. People are upset, and people are saying once again LA Knight's getting buried and all that crazy stuff. Me personally, I mean, like I said in the SmackDown review, it's shocking he didn't get the win. Um, there were rumors saying that LA Knight is set to get pushed after SummerSlam, but knowing how a lot of these wrestling media are nowadays, can you really trust that? Really? So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But LA Knight, man, just over with the crowd, crazy. Um, but yeah, it's just LA Knight. I mean, yeah, that's there's nothing more to say it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this wrestling news. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back this Monday with Raw as we getting closer and closer to SummerSlam, man. SummerSlam. So yeah.